It's Saturday, July 12th, 2025. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report.
TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report.
Greetings, everyone. TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkham Report. Up on time, and wasn't sure if it was going to be or not. I've been so busy this last week when I've been off work, and I've got a lot more to do. But I've made quite a bit of progress, and we'll go over that after we get to this massive piles of 45s and albums coming up on Out of the Box. Out of the box this week, I have a ton of stuff, albums and 45s, most of it from Dawn and Mary, but this one is not. This one came from Hello Music, and it is a big prize on my shelf. I heard, I think it was Melinda Murphy talking about it, and I said, I have got to have this. It is going to be fantastic. It just arrived yesterday, so it's still in the shrink, hasn't been opened. I can't wait to listen to it, probably sometime after work this week. Going to be great. This is the reissue, 45th anniversary edition of Christopher Cross's debut album. It is now a gatefold. It includes 11 unreleased demo tracks. It has all of the first album, plus demos of 11 songs. And of course, 4 huge hits came off this album: Sailing, Ride Like the Wind, Say You'll Be Mine, and Never Be the Same. He did very well with this. Never did quite recapture the magic after this album, although his third album, Every Turn of the World, which got shafted by the critics, is my favorite. Love this as well, and I cannot wait to hear the demos. There's some stuff on here that's never been released, and it's going to be great. Melinda, I think it was, thank you for recommending this, and I can't wait to break into it. Now, Dawn and Mary. Oh boy. Dawn actually wrote me and she said, hey, I found these albums. Do you want them? 2 of them I knew. The third one she just threw in there. And I said, sure, because, you know, what I collect and I like goofy stuff. The first one is still sealed. I haven't unsealed it yet. This is an early album from actor and musician George Segal, the Yama Yama Man. Of course, he's a jazz performer. He did a lot of jazz stuff. He showed off his jazz chops on The Tonight Show all the time. This album was released. It is a cutout. And let's see if I can find a date on it. No. Although I would assume it would be after. It was recorded in 1967, so this is an early album. Got that original cutout sticker on it, which is very cool. And George was always a fantastic musician, so that'll be fun to listen to. The other one, I've seen this. I've seen it in years. I never did buy it. And Dawn's like, I have a copy. Do you want it? And I'm like, sure. I'm a sucker for kids' albums if they're entertaining. I have stuff from my childhood, like the Zoom soundtracks, the various ones, and I have Multiplication Rock. I have all the Schoolhouse Rock stuff. Obviously, you've been hearing it on AM 70s. All that stuff, and Flash Beagle. And now I have Sesame Street Fever. This is Robin Gibb and the Sesame Street gang doing some new mixes of some of their songs and a brand new song called Trash, or a remixed version of Trash with Robin Gibb doing the vocal on it. I'm not sure if that's the same Oscar song or not. I've never heard it. I will be listening to it as I can this week. And this I was delighted to get because I love radio transcriptions, and people don't remember this album. This is an RCA special radio series interview with Jack Green. This is volume 8. Jack Green was an artist who never clicked in the States. This is the album this is about right here. I have this on cassette. It contains a single called Murder, which was absolutely fantastic. The album is called Humanesque, and I have a cassette of it somewhere. But I love this, and I think Jack Green got the shaft. That album was always fantastic. And so I will be listening to this as well, and possibly may show up on Retro Radio Flashback. We'll see. Those are the albums. Now, Mary kind of went nuts with the 45s this week. I have 4 huge stacks. We'll start with the one that arrived earliest this week, stack 1. I'm just going to run through them as fast as I can, because otherwise we'll be here until Tuesday. There's 3 more. A lot of great picture sleeves in these, too. So just going through them quickly. This first pile contains Mama, Mama, Mama by Wilbur Harrison. Ooh, blue on... Oh, I love silver on blue. I'd love to know who came up with these color schemes. This is... Good Lord, it's unreadable, but it's actually in... It appears to be in Japanese. Or Chinese. I would assume it was Japanese. It looks like Christmas music. I can't see all the titles. I don't think you can either. How Come My Dog Don't Bark? This is from Prince Patridge. Picture sleeve of classic from Rolf Harris, Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport. More Buchanan and Goodman, Flying Saucer the Second. Buchanan and Goodman on Trial. The Flying Saucer Goes West. Santa and the Satellite, Parts 1 and 2. I have multiple copies of some of these now, and I will eventually be sharing them. But You're Mine, Sonny and Cher on a Natco white label promo. This may make its way to the Radio Retro Flashback as well. These are 4 excerpts from the radio series called Chicken Man, which was a popular... I believe that originated in Los Angeles. Might have been Detroit. I'm not sure. It was a comedy bit. For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield. Sunshine of Your Love, The Cream, which I don't know why they did that. Santa Claus Is Coming to Town by the Ramsey Lewis Trio. And I don't think you're getting to see any of these. The light's not showing properly. Bust Out by the Busters. You Made a Big Mess Out of Your Life by Carl Phillips. Happy Tiger Records. I'm not familiar with that at all. Cotton Pickin', Pickle Packin', Fish Strippin', Claw Hoppin' Hands. And Theme from a Summer Place by the Classics. This is a vocal group, I would just bet. Oh No, Parts 1 and 2, The Nutty Squirrels. You guys have all heard that. Cab Calloway doing the vocals on Jilted. This is probably... Well, it says printed in USA, but it's stylized a lot like a British release because it's a small hole. We'll see. The Girl Can't Help It, the British Walkers. What Did They Do Before Rock and Roll? Shelley Fabre and Paul Peterson from The Donna Reed Show. Fried Chitterlings, U.S. Warren and the Insiders. I don't know that one. I don't know a lot of these. Henry Goes to the Moon with Rough and Ready. This is probably a novelty record. Cool Water, classic from Sons of the Pioneers. Also, Tumblin' Tumbleweeds, another classic from Sons of the Pioneers. Wonderful Waterfall from Stan Freberg. This is his parody of the Lawrence Welk Show. If you've never heard it, you've obviously not a Dr. Demento fan. And on red vinyl, which is very cool. Look at that. Yay. This Land Is Your Land. Promo from Columbia 2i, the New Christie Minstrels. Alright, that's pile 1. I need to adjust here. And hope it doesn't fall off that stack. Now, these 3 all arrived yesterday. These are huge. I'm going to start with the smaller one, because it's just the easiest one. Got some. I actually got some picture sleeves that had records, so I put them in the sleeves and put them together. So those are cool. Another one on red vinyl. This is a multiple band test record from RCA. It has the different frequencies and stuff that you're testing your turntable at, I guess. Wonderful Wino from George Carlin. I actually bought a like new copy of this from them on Whatnot a few months ago. The Green Hornet theme from Al, He's the King, Hurt, which is Flight of the Bumblebee, done on a trumpet. Your Past Is Back Again, Gary Paxton, who was he was in a band in the 60s. I'll be damned if I can remember which one, but I know he was popular back then. David Box and Little Lonely Summer Girl. The novelty of all these that Mary's sending me is that a lot of them have labels I do not have or have never heard of, and artists I don't know. That's part of the discovery process. I love this. Trey Chic from the Sheiks. On that side, from the Sheiks, excuse me. And Trey Chic on the flip side by Jeff Gilmore and the Sheiks. So they changed the that must be a promo of some sort. Yogi Man's Bikini. Bill Herschel and the Almonds. No idea. The Eggplant That Ate Chicago from Dr. West's Medicine Show and Junk Band on Go-Go Records. Okay. Larry Gross, Junk Food Junkie. Some German stuff from Roy Black, a couple of them. Lieb ist kein Märchen. I don't speak German. I'm going to do the best I can with it. And Für dich allein. These are on the. They were released in what looks like the European or the label. They're both on Polydor, and the labels resemble British or Canadian Polydor. So we'll see. Rapper Dapper Snapper by Edwin Birdsong. Obviously, this is some sort of a rap disco because it's on South Soul Records. Snoopy for President, the Royal Guardsman. Merry Christmas from your RCA Victor dealer. This has got the Radio City Music Hall Symphony and Chorus playing 4 songs for Christmas. Merry Christmas Baby, Charles Brown with Johnny Moore's Three Blazers. Official release, I assume this means they're doing the vocals. The Harlem Globetrotters? Is that just the label? No, it must have been presented by them. Sweet Georgia Brown by Brother Bones. So that I would assume that is the familiar whistling one that we've heard for the Harlem Globetrotters over the years. A special message from Bob Crew. This is obviously a promo record. Bob Crew is... For those of you who don't know, he had a hit of his own in the 1960s with Music to Watch Girls By. But he was a top producer and engineer, did a lot of the top acts of the late 60s and early 70s. And an original promo of Monster Mash, Bobby Boris, Pickett, and the Crypt Keepers. Now, that's the small pile. we shall move on to the medium pile. And I don't know how any of these sound. None of these are play graded or cleaned. That's up to me to do, and I told them that was fine. Because I have my spin clean, my vinyl style spin clean up there. And I will get to work on them one of these days. Let the Music Play, J.G. Lewis. Welcome to our world of Mercy Music, I think it says, mass production. Betting this is R&B or disco because it's cotillion. Another multiple song EP. This one features Santa Baby and 3 regular songs from the always incredible Eartha Kitt. State of Shock, the Jacksons. I'm a Sucker for Your Love, Tina Marie. I have a promo copy of this in my collection from years ago. I Love You, the Volumes. I Will by Rock and Hide. I don't know these guys. This is a picture sleeve that came with this. Mid-80s, 87. I don't know them at all. Reservations and No Justice by The Ones. This is on One Way Records, which means this is for jukeboxes. So that would put it late 80s, early 90s. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark and Forever Live and Die. Call It Love from Poco. That's on RCA, the RCA label from the late 80s, so that's more recent than their bigger hits. This is a flexi disc, and according to this, it is... I have to take it out because I can't really tell. This appears to be... I'm going to show this. Flexi disc. According to the notes that the gentleman who cataloged Dawn and Mary purchased, this is Sinead O'Connor doing Nothing Compares to You in the Emperor's New Clothes. My guess is it's like a CMJ giveaway or something. So that's interesting. I will check that out. What in the Name of Love, Naked Eyes? This label I love because it actually has the artist on the label. You Are Love to Me from Ken Miller. Have you ever seen a label like that? Where the artist's picture is on the label? I've seen that on an album, not on a 45. Do It Like Mama, Semtech, and Wiley. Tutti Frutti, the Megatrons. Leader of the Laundromat, the Detergents. That's Ron Dante doing that. Outer Space Looters, number 1 and 2 by Space Martians. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, Sammy Marshall. Strut My Thang by Ozone. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by the Chipmunks with David Seville. I didn't know they released another Christmas song on a 45. My Boomerang Won't Come Back, Charlie Drake. That goes nicely with the Ralph Harris. How About Me, the Gaylords. This is on a Mercury promo from the 50s, it looks like. Horror Movies, another Dickie Goodman classic. I don't know that one. The Pool Game, Mary and Peter Hard on Varmint Records. Sing Along with Jose Jimenez on Harvest Moon. Billed to Jose Jimenez, also known as comedian Bill Dana. This is probably so un-PC now, it's scary. Dragnet, again, this is Spike Jonze and his City Slickers. Oh, this is the Spike Jonze version. There's a Stan Freberg version out there, too. Telstar, the Tornadoes. Humphrey the Camel, Jack Blanchard and Misty Morgan. This was the follow-up to their surprisingly top 20 pop hit called Tennessee Birdwalk in 1971. Um, Shalom Mio Ray, Jeannie Cassell with the Bill Curtis Orchestra. There's an insert in here about her. I'm not familiar with that. That looks like a private label. Terry and Jerry and Clothes Shop. This is a British single. And I remember when this out, I never could find the picture sleeve. Now I have it. Sister Mary Elephant, Cheech and Chong. And this also British release, Kim Wilde and Cambodia picture sleeve. All right. Are you bored yet, folks? We got one more pile to go through here. And it's a biggie. By gum, it's a biggie. Look at this. Yike. Okay. A lot of great picture sleeves. A sleeve only. The other ones they actually had records with them, and I was able to find them. And I'm pretty sure she sent me a copy of this I will find to slip in here. This is a sleeve only for I'm Not Your Stepping Stone and I'm a Believer from the Monkees. A lot of Richard Chamberlain stuff. Mary knows I collect actors who perform, or who did music. And there's quite a bit. I'm going to pull it all together here because there's quite a few, both sleeves and not sleeves. Let's start with the other two Monkees, Daydream Believer, that go with that, and Pleasant Valley Sunday. And then Richard Chamberlain, theme from Dr. Kildare. This is a promo. Theme from Dr. Kildare. This is a picture sleeve. Love Me Tender. And also actor George Hamilton, who I did not know recorded Don't Envy Me. I know George Hamilton the fourth, the country singer, but I did not know actor George Hamilton had cut a record. So those are quite special. Next up, we have Wind by Make Believe. Oh no, sorry, Make Believe is the song. Wind is the group on Life Records. I am led to believe this might be contemporary Christian. Little Bitty Bilbo Abernathy, Nathan Allen, Quincy Jones by Sheb Woolley. Don't know that one. Never Leave Me, Thelma Jones. The I Have a Dream speech from Martin Luther King. This comes from a slideshow, according to this, but I bet it's hella interesting because it's like it goes with a slideshow about the Museum of Impressionism in Paris, and it is narrated by Vincent Price. Kim is going to love that. That's the kind of thing that could pop up on radio, on retro radio, flashback too, even though it's not radio. Jingle Bell Rock, Bobby Helms. Troubles, the Jackson Brothers on Candy. I don't know the label or the act. The Congressional Record, The Hardly Worth It Players. Obviously a comedy bit. The Hardly Worth It Melody on the flip side. No idea. Haunted House by Gene Simmons. And it's not that Gene Simmons. I believe he's a country singer, if I'm not mistaken. Great Balls of Fire. And as time goes by, from the inimitable Tiny Tim. Scarborough Fair, Brazil 66, Sergio Mendes. You Don't Have to Be a Star, Marilyn McCoo, Billy Davis Jr. Exanguation Blues and Hospitality Blues, Doug Hartnell. I Like to Teach the World to Sing, The New Seekers. This is another one I believe I bought a copy from them on Whatnot of this. This is Imagine That and the Cliffwood Avenue Kids Disco Capers featuring singer Dora Hall. Dora Hall was the wife of the man who owned the Solo Cup Company. And I'm going to be doing an in-depth look at her career in the months ahead. I got a Wife, the Mark V. Got to Get to Your House, David Seville. Ooh, What a Lover. Introducing Linda Laurie. Don't know Glory Records at all. Another Richard Chamberlain, True Love. And his version of Close to You. They Long to Be Close to You before they put the parentheses around it for the Carpenters version. And another copy of Theme from Dr. Kildare. And All I Have to Do Is Dream, which he actually charted with back in the 60s. Nuttin' for Christmas by Kenny and Corky. Monkey Shine, Mel and Dee. Robot Man, Jamie Norton. Go Go Phillies by the Umpires. That's obviously sports related. Phillies being Philadelphia's baseball team. Up, Up and Away, the original OG by Fifth Dimension. And Out of This World, Flying Saucers Part 1, Dave Barry with Sarah Berner. Mary, you've outdone yourself with all the 45s this week, and I cannot wait for any more that you might have to send my way. I noticed there's another package on the way, so who knows? Will I get around to listening to them? Eventually. It's going to take me a few months. I have done so much with these, but I cannot thank you enough for thinking of me, Dawn and Mary, and I really appreciate it. And that is Out of the Box, a very long Out of the Box for this week.
Hey gang, we've got merch. Show off your love for all things TKR. Find t-shirts and more in the TKR swag shop. Click on the link in the show description. 2 solid hours of your favorite dance music classics. Crank up the speakers, turn on the mirror ball, and trip the light fantastic. It's Saturday Night Disco Party. Saturdays 11 p.m. US ET, TKR Video Central on YouTube. A different top hits countdown from hundreds of radio stations around the world each week. Radio Retro Countdown, Sundays 4 p.m. US ET, TKR Video Central on YouTube. TC's personal music charts, week by week, year by year, from the beginning. TKR's Classic Charts Countdown, Mondays 4 p.m. US ET, TKR Video Central on YouTube. Jump into the time machine and find out the #1 hits of a chart year from a variety of music sources. Flashback tracks, Thursdays 4 p.m. US ET, TKR Video Central on YouTube.
Inside the booth this week, as I told everybody last week, I was off work this week. I had a vacation week. And I was determined to get as much done as I could. I am happy to say that a lot of the production work I wanted to do is finished. I don't have much left to finish. I have not got all the physical stuff done. I've still not finished the lighting or the camera. And some of the boxes over here are not done yet. But I have made, I would say, a 70 to 75% dent in my list. And I have another day to go after today. I'm gonna keep the other shows, the camera shows, on hiatus until August. That will give me time to get the camera situation squared away. And I did test the Ozbot this week, and it works, but it's still not pulling into the computer. So something went wrong when I had that computer snafu in December, and although the Brio works off and on, it isn't working full time, and the Alki is still working wonderfully, thankfully, so that's good. But we'll get this crap squared away. So what I have left to do, I still have some boxes to clear out. I still have some CDs to do, because as I said last week, I found another box of CDs, and this week I found yet another box of CDs. Plus I have 2 tubs of CDs, and the hit discs I haven't even started yet. So I'm going to be busy on that, and I can do those while I'm working, which is nice, because I work home 3 days a week, and I work in 2 days a week. So I can get those done while I'm working, but I'm going to try and get them done by the end of the month. This is going on way too long. I should have been able to recover by now after the December disaster with my drive. But I have taken my time and just reevaluated things. I'm doing some new stuff. I've got some new shows coming up. I've got completely revamped stuff coming up. I did some new one of the things I was working on this week was new production grids for a lot of my shows, and then Filmora decides to do an update, and now half my graphic stuff isn't working properly. The text isn't working right. So I have a query into them, and I'm not the only one, because I noticed people were complaining about it on Reddit. So I'm not the only one being affected by that. This is a system-wide thing. But the photos and stuff and the video is still fine, which is, good. And what I do, I'm working on an updated Obscuria and how to do it. It was supposed to come up this week, but it's probably going to be pushed back at least a week because I can't get certain things to work right with the Filmora update. So we'll see. But it won't affect Obscuria's being up. It just is effects going to look. The new Obscuria will look all new and have a completely new setup and everything you can watch for that in the near future. In any case, I am going to continue working and get the rest of this stuff done. Hopefully by the end of July. That'll be 8 months. And Mary, shut up. And I can. When Dawn puts up her Costa Rica videos, then you can bitch at me about me still working on my stuff. So there. In any case, I will continue to work on this, and we will continue the flow that we've got with all the shows up now. They'll still be up. The hosted shows, which are Influencers, Vinyl Recall, Label Nova, those will wait until the cameras are done. So all the rest of the stuff will be up. And that's Inside the Booth this week.
An hour of lively discussion about music from two huge music fans. Finding Your Music Mojo with TC and Dawn. Live alternate Mondays, 7 p.m. US ET. TKR Video Central and 2 Hip Chicks on YouTube, and TKR Video Central on Twitch. If she's thinking about it, you know she's bound to have an opinion on it. Kim Takes On. Alternate Tuesdays, 7 p.m. US ET. TKR Video Central on YouTube.
If you are watching this on the weekend of July 12th and 13th, this Monday, July 14th at 7 p.m., delayed for 2 weeks by happenstance up here that we couldn't get away from, Finding Your Music Mojo returns. We will be talking golden oldies, and Dawn and I will be talking about the music we remember hearing growing up, and the music that we remember our families listening to. A lot of fun with there. 7 o'clock, Finding Your Music Mojo. It is simulcast live on here at TKR Video Central on 2 Hip Chicks. It's also on the TKR video site on Twitch usually, and you can catch that. Tuesday, July 13th at 4 p.m. Kim Takes On this week. We'll be looking at the Jaws franchise. Kim is a big fan of Jaws. Jaws is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and she is going to talk. She has seen all 4 movies. Poor girl. I've only sat through Jaws. I've seen Jaws twice in the theater and several times on television, and I've seen Jaws 2 once. I have not seen the other 2. And believe me, I know I haven't missed much of anything. She will be talking about that this week on Kim Takes On. So, Finding Your Music Mojo this Monday, the 14th at 7 p.m. And, oh yeah, that would be the 14th, sorry. And Kim would be the 15th, not the 13th, at 4 p.m. for Kim Takes On the Jaws franchise. Please check them out.
Stay ahead of dangerous weather no matter what the season. Stay aware and stay safe. PNR WeatherCentral on YouTube. Like what you see? Level up. Become a TKR patron. We can always use more supporters of our channel. Click on the Patreon link in the show description.
Folks, I'm going to mosey on out of here. It is a busy day today. Today is the big pay-per-view of the year for All Elite Wrestling. We are big fans of that company, and so we will be tuning in to All In this afternoon. It starts at 1 o'clock with the actual show starting at 3, and it'll probably run until 8, and then WWE's Saturday Night's Main Event is on. So we'll be doing wrestling all day. This is why I wanted to get this done and out and up and ready to go. I was worried I wouldn't get it up, but I actually am going to. There will be some changes made, as I said, over the behind the inside the booth. I am making some changes to the way things are operating around here. This is all coming from the work that I was doing this past week. There will be some announcements coming for some new shows and a few other things, and I hope you will be watching for those over the next couple of weeks. I still need to get my Roger Nichols tribute up. That hopefully will happen tomorrow, but if not, it will happen this week sometime. Which it should have been a while ago, because he passed away in May, and I've been trying to do this for a month. I have other stuff going on as well. Of course, I'll be back at work in person 2 days this week. Blah. So, but hey, it pays the bills, and that's what counts. And I can still do my stuff in and around it, and that's the important thing. And the schedules that I've been working on since the beginning of the year have actually made it quite easy. And I'm able to keep up with most of it throughout the week. In any case, I hope if you haven't subscribed, you will already. We're on the road to 1,500 subscribers now, and I hope that you will continue to spread the word. Please share, please like, and please leave a comment. Your comments are how I know how I'm doing, and I love hearing from you on all the shows, whether it's this show or one of the countdown shows or one of the radio retro shows or one of the long-form shows like Friday Night Hair Salon or Saturday Night Disco Party or Sunday Night AM 70s. Please leave a comment. I want to hear from you. I hope everybody has a great week. This week it's going to be hot and stormy throughout most of the country over the next week, according to the online guys. So stay safe if you're in storm areas. All our best to people who have been experiencing these horrible floods in Texas and Iowa. It's been a scary month or so with these storms, and it's just going to keep going. So if you're in the Midwest, if you're in the South, particularly in the heartland, keep a wary eye and be aware that if you have any severe watches out, keep your eye on them, because you don't want to get caught up in that. In any case, I will see you in 7 days with another Kirkham report. I'm TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central. I will see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.